Hello everyone, welcome to Belgium University. My name is Anders, this is my colleague Doug, and today we'll be discussing Aristocrat porcelain tiles and the proper installation of them. We have a good presentation for you today, I believe, and we also have a nice video at the end by Mr. Craig Scheller from Kansas City. It's a great project. He's done a really good job. He's got permeable base in there, the 57, number 8, 9 clear on the top of that for the bedding layer. He's got this proper spacing on there. He's using porcelain sand in the joints, porcelain tile sand in the joints, and he's also using a roller compactor to finish the project. So the vibration of the sand is getting the joints as it should. So really good one. I'm really excited to give that to you guys to have a look at that. Better than me and Doug doing what we do up here. You'll enjoy that far more. As far as porcelain tiles are concerned, they've been around for a long time. We've been in the business since 2015 with our product, the original Aristocrat. We've been dealing with that. It's 20 millimeter thick, so 2 centimeter thick, proper 2 centimeter thick. Please be aware out there, you'll see some prices out there on some other materials, maybe a little bit less expensive. Some of that stuff is 16 millimeters, some of it's 18 millimeters. So just be aware of that. And I will tell you, not that we like to cast dispersions on our competitors, but I know there are some tiles out there where guys have been cutting them with the proper saw, and halfway through the cut they've been splitting. So just be aware of that. It hasn't happened with our product. We've never had a complaint about that, but there are products out there. So just so you understand that not all 2 centimeter porcelain tile is the same. Right now we have two brands, of course. We got our Aristocrat, which we started with a long time ago, and we're very fortunate now to have the Mirage brand available to us as well. We've become part of the Oldcastle family, so we are carrying that product, and they've got some really unique stuff in there. So we're looking forward to having that relationship grow, and some of our dealers that have seen the Mirage are really excited about some of the colors that they have available, and that's where we're going to be dealing with our planks. Moving forward, we'll begin those through Mirage, and we've stopped bringing the other stuff in. So basically that's it on that part of it. Okay, so one of the things that's happened with the Mirage and Aristocrat coming together, with the Aristocrat we've all had some good installation details. Now with the new marriage to Mirage, we've got some great installation details from those guys. Some of the stuff they've got, of course the Italian side, the North American side, they've got a lot of long history with the 2 centimeter product, and they've got some really great stuff there, especially when it comes to mortar sets. So we're looking forward to that as well. So yeah, some of you guys out there are new to porcelain. We're going to go through a brief introduction of it right here. Of course, some guys have been doing this for a long time, many 5 or 6 years when we started with you. There's lots of good projects out there. Of course, like anything, if it's installed properly, it performs properly. If there's little things that come up, we'll help you with that. We've got some good introductions here for you as well. And we'd like to talk now about some of the benefits. So why porcelain? Why porcelain when we're using concrete? We make some good concrete slabs. We have different colors and variations of that. There's two big differences in my mind. Number one is the fact that the concrete slabs are so much heavier than this product. This product averages out at 9 pounds a square foot as opposed to the 25 pounds a square foot that we have with our concrete slabs. So a 100 pound slab for a 24 by 24 as opposed to a 36 pound slab. Quite a bit of difference, and I think the guys working for you will feel that as well. No efflorescence. There is no cement powder involved in making this product. So that's not an issue at all. So those days are long gone. Extremely durable. This stuff has got an absorption rate of 0.2%. It really doesn't absorb anything. Any stains that get on there are just really on the surface. They are not allowed to penetrate. You can't even seal this product. So the good news is anything that gets on there you can get off. You're going to want to start with some detergent as the first process and work your way up to more aggressive cleaners. Typically anything that's acid-based will be the final result, and that'll take everything off. Will not harm the surface. There is nothing that you can put on there that's a chemical that will harm the surface on this. Another good thing about this product is color fastness. UV rays do not affect this product at all. If you have, we've had projects where we've done decks that have been partially exposed to UV rays and parts that have been undercover. That's always been an issue because there's concrete's going to fade unless it's sealed properly. So you get that dispersion in color. People don't really like that look, so that's always an issue. This product will not do that. The color fastness, because of how it's manufactured, lasts forever. So just an example of how durable the surface is. You're going to end up wearing out the tip of that screwdriver before you wear out the surface of this product. And it doesn't leave anything permanent on there. No staining, no cut, no grooves, nothing. Surface density. The surface density, as discussed earlier, was 0.2%. Once again, no absorption. Great for products like that. Lightweight, once again, 9 pounds a square foot. Slip resistance. This product, when tested, and we've had it tested by independent labs, 0.45 is a good result. This stuff's at 0.6 to 0.7 wet or dry. So incredible numbers. Once again, getting back to the absorption, because the absorption is so low that when you do have cold weather out here, and we get that occasionally, you get rain sitting on top of this thing because once again, the water's not going to absorb in there like with concrete. You can get some buildup of frost on there. That's a reality. The good news is any de-icers you want to put on there can't harm the surface. It's very, very good. We had a large project that was done with a bunch of townhouses up in Whistler. How they got around that, rather than keep moving the snow off and the water off by scrubbing it or pushing it off with a broom, they actually put rubber mats on. So from the unit to the hot tub, they had rubber mats to walk on, just in the wintertime when they needed those out there. So that's how they got through that. Sizes, 24 by 48, 24 by 24 with the Aristocrat. With the Mirage, 24 by 24 are typical sizes, and then these planks right here. That's where we're going to go with there. We do have other sizes out there, and if you have special order projects or special order colors, we can talk to the manufacturer and obtain those for you. Just we need good, healthy lead times on those. The colors that we have, we're going to be, speaking of colors, we're going to have about 22 colors. Doug's showing off some of the ones here. There's some more over here. Those are some of the basic ones that we have. Like I say, so there's over 20 colors there, and we will bring in special orders if the projects are long enough. So we won't say no to any sales on that end of it. The good news about this product, it can go interior or exterior. You can do the same with the concrete, but typically that's not a good look for inside. But with this product, inside, outside, you'll get a lot of kitchens that feed out to a large deck on the outside. They'll want to have it continuously, so they'll pick the same product to go from inside to outside. Very nice look. The spacing of the tiles, just a heads up, all of our tabs that we use here are 3mm tabs to give you the proper spacing. Anything you can use different. You go 4mm if you want, but minimum for us is 3mm. With the mortar set, with anything like that, you're going to want to do that. Aggregate set, we use the BJ4MM for that. But when it comes to the mortar set on large driveways, our experience has told us that basically in the bigger projects, you're going to do spacing that's more like 3/8 of an inch. It's not. It's just because of the fact that the slab may move, and they want to get that larger gapping in there. So getting back to the installation details, there's mortar installation, which is typical of any tile. The only difference between this being an outdoor material, you're going to use a mortar that has an anti-fracture component to it, just because if you get this 4 to 6 inch reinforced concrete slab, if it ends up cracking on you, you don't want it going through the surface and cracking the tile. The anti-fracture mortar will let you do that. It'll keep it from dispersing right to the top, gives you a nice bit of an edge. We've done 2 large projects to this date. One from Phil from Four Brothers Masonry and one with John at Van Skyline. It's a bluestone job. There'll be a photo of it coming up here. It's a nice project. Everything's doing really well, and that one's probably about 3 to 5 years old now, and people are really still pleased with it. Another installation detail is the EPP. Those pads, the large pads you can get from Techniseal and some other guys out there. Some of the guys using those for their base material, they're having to do less excavation because of it. Seems to work well. Bryce Alston on the island's done a few jobs with that, and he seems to be pleased with it, so there's some good references from him on that product. There's a video of that, or a photo of that coming up as well. You'll see that. And then the more typical install for us is pedestals. Of course, we've been doing concrete slabs on pedestals since 1995, when I started with the company. So those we've always had. We've gone from rubber pads. Gentlemen, as a heads up, don't ever use rubber pads with Aristocrat porcelain tiles. Because they're only 9 pounds a square foot, they tend to bounce on rubber because they're so light. So don't use that. You can use other pedestals if you want to, but don't use that one. That's going to be a problem for you. So out of the pedestals we have, my friend Doug here has got the one step. The one step is a really nice economical piece. It gives you the 1mm incremental up and down. If you take those 2 tops and you join them together, you'll get another 10mm. So this is going to go from 24 to 45mm, covering majority of the projects that are done out there. You notice the tabs, of course, are as long as they are. What will happen is if you're all the way down on the bottom with that pedestal, you're going to need to snip them. We have a pair of snippers here. We can snip them off. That'll work for you. Really nice unit. And the other thing about this, you can break them into quarters and halves. So you're not wasting this pedestal on the corners or the edges. You can use up just one. It'll do corner and the edge as well. So it's a really nice unit. And we have extenders that go underneath it to give it up to greater height. We've done the math on it. Basically, once you get up to 3 or 4 inches with this product, it's cheaper to go to the screw jacks. So in the 1 steps, we have 1 steps and half steps, and then there's the extenders, 20mm extender and a 40mm extender. So that's that program right there. The other program we have is the screw jack. The screw jack's a little different. This is one that's, pretty much everybody has a version of the screw jack. Up and down, gives you incremental differences. We have a slope corrector that goes on the surface. Once again, the spacer tabs are 3mm. So we keep continuity of the 1 step to this product. Everything's the same. Slope corrector will do 0.5%, so deal with any of those projects. We don't sell a lot of the slope correctors. I think most guys will either, if it's 1 to 2%, they don't really worry about it. they'll just follow it. And at 2% slope, for myself, I've never noticed a difference between being flat at or 2% slope. So it's pretty small, so nobody really notices it. The last one we have is the BJ 4mm. That's a flat disc. That's the one we use with our aggregate set. So that's where we're putting it on top of a 1/4 inch clear, as we see over there. The video that you're going to see coming up here with Craig has the number 57 on the bottom as the sub base layer there. Then we got the bedding layer right there, which is the 1/4 inch clear. And then we're using the BJ 4mm. The reason we're using the BJ 4mm is it gives you your spacing, your 3mm spacing again, so the porcelain is not making contact. If it does make contact, because it's such a hard product, it will chip. If it makes contact with concrete, it'll chip. That gives us a gap, so we're going to keep them separate. The beautiful part about all this, with the clear crush aggregate underneath, that material will be free draining. So there's no water retention through the joints or the bedding layer. You don't ever want to use sand with this product. Problem with sand, freeze thaw, it is susceptible to freeze thaw. It doesn't really matter when it's a paver or a concrete slab, when it's 25 pounds a square foot, but something that's only 9 pounds a square foot, it tends to move. We have had products that have gone sideways because of that, and it becomes a problem. So never, ever with our products will we recommend using sand. You're going to see installation details like that, and for some of these larger companies, they'll show that detail because, let's say in California, they don't worry about this because the freeze thaw are the same as we have here, but we have some of the most prevalent freeze thaw anywhere in North America here. So that's a reality for us. Once again, the BJ 4mm can be broken into quarters and halves. Once again, you're not wasting anything. And because the disc is so wide and so large, as opposed to the one you're going to see in the video coming up, it just gives you more protection if you ever have a dip. So this is a better way to go, we think, on that. When you see the video, one of the tools you notice, he's cut all the pavers, so he's pre-cut the pavers, so you don't see that. But when you do cut this, you need to use a proper blade, so diamond blade, no teeth. So continuous blade all the way around. These are readily available. Any of the bigger, better dealers, they all have this because porcelain's been around so long, they've got all these things. And I will tell you that Ox is one of the best brands out there. So fairly economical price. It fits all the marketplace needs, and it's a great product. Another thing that's out there that once you guys do more porcelain, you'll start to get a feel for is this. This is a suction device. With that sucker there, you can just attach it to there, lift it up, move them in, do a job where he had to put it underneath a windowsill. So they had 2 of these, one guy at either side, and they slipped it underneath there. So no fingers, of course, because you're going into a spot where you got pedestals and you got other material sitting in there, you can't get your fingers down. So it's a really, really good way to deal with this kind of stuff. That's about it for this. This is a quick introduction. We've been doing this a long time, so we do have some ins and outs. We also know some very good contractors that don't mind sharing information if people have questions. I think you're going to really enjoy Craig's video. It's very, very well done. Like I say, the only thing I would do differently is I'd, of course, use our BJ 4mm for the spacers. He uses the Technisil spacers. But anyway, really good product. Very, very well done. And kudos to Craig for doing such a good job. Thank you very much. I appreciate you tuning into this. There'll be information after the video is over on how to contact us if you need any more information. I can tell you in the future we are working on doing YouTube videos similar to what Craig's done with some of the local guys and try and get more of the pedestal information out there to everybody and just make it an easier thing for everybody to get into. Thank you very much again. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for your assistance today. And thank you for tuning in. Have a good day.
What's up, everybody? Craig Scheller with Scheller Outdoor Living. At the end of last year, in 2020, we completed a porcelain paver patio on open graded base. Now, I get a lot of questions on installation on open graded base with porcelain, so I thought I would document the job. We did a little bit of real-time action as well as some time-lapse, kind of showing the processes that we went through to complete this project. So stick around. This might be a little bit longer of a video, but I hope you guys find it informative. And as always, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment or reach out to me either on Instagram or Facebook at Scheller Outdoor Living. I always like talking with contractors across the country, so be sure to reach out if you have any additional input or if you have any questions about the process that we did. So we're going to join the project in progress. As we see with this video, this is my employee Byron. He starts out by, we still like to water down the 57 stone, which is a 3/4 inch clean. It helps get rid of some of the dust that comes from the quarry, and the dust kind of provides, in a way, a lubricant, if you will. It kind of pushes the gravel around, and if we wet it down, we get a little bit better compaction. So as you see here with, we're running our reversible plate compactor over it, and we're really, with open graded base, we're really just trying to get consolidation. So that's the term I like to use when we're doing open graded base, is getting that good consolidation of the number 57 stone. Next, we've taken some time and set up our screed rails. This is very similar to doing any paver patio. So we like to do about 1.5 inches of 3/8 clean chip. So this is a wash stone again. You could use a number 8 or number 9 stone, which would be a 1/4 inch to 3/8. I wouldn't go any bigger than 3/8. 3/8 is very common in our area. It's about all we can find. There are some quarries where we can find a smaller stone, but our local landscape supply company carries this, as well as the local quarries in our area. So what we're doing, we're setting up the tile to meet the coping piece that we put on, which is also a porcelain that we've had bull-nosed. So we're elevating that a little bit so that when we run the roller compactor over or get any migration in the gravel, we can also get that down to the level we want, but we want it to be slightly above just to get the water to shed off. So as you can see here, we've had to create a two-way pitch. So the angled screed rail is actually what's controlling our pitch in either direction. So we're taking that down from the step to the corner of the patio. We're actually pitching this patio from that point in 2 directions, because we're going to use a kind of a wood plank look. So it's a 8-inch by 48-inch porcelain. So we needed to have kind of a break for that, so we weren't trying to run the porcelain and, it doesn't flex. So here's kind of a quick time lapse showing the process. Once we've set up the rails, started screeding the gravel, gets us through it a little bit better. We've set up and screeded both sides at the same time. The nice thing about 3/8 chip is it's not like sand. We can let it sit a little bit. We can walk on it if needed. And as you can see now, we're setting up the porcelain and the pattern that we're going to do. One thing about porcelain planks that I would recommend is try to break those bonds into a 1/3 or 1/4 instead of doing a 1/2 bond. This particular porcelain we use from Mirage has a 1 millimeter pitch to the middle, so the water will shed off to the edges. So what we've done is we've done a 1/3 bond, which also gives a really nice natural look, especially when using a wood grain. Notice also we're using a spacer. We'll kind of zoom in on that spacer. You can see what that looks like. This is made by Techniseal. It's a low profile spacer. It allows you to set the porcelain on top of the disc of the spacer, and then also set that disc on top of the gravel, so it has a place to sit. Makes it a little bit easier to slide the porcelain around on the gravel as you're setting them, but also gives a place for that to sit. So we were able to get this laid in just about half a day on this particular part of the patio. We had pre-cut the 45-degree angle because we knew what we were going to be doing with that section, and that was the detail we were going for. So as you can see, we've gotten that completed, and now we've come back the next day, taking just a small battery-powered blower, and we're blowing off any debris, any gravel or anything that's sitting on the top of the patio from our bedding layer, any dust or footprints or anything like that. We're just trying to get that cleaned up because we are back now to do the polymeric sand. So this process, this is where some people call this a hybrid system. So we're basically building a permeable base. So we have our 57 clean stone, our 3/8 clean, number 8, number 9 stone. And now we're going to be basically closing the joints of the patio and making it impervious so the water will run off using a polymeric sand. So we're not allowing necessarily all the water to go into the joint and filter through the system. We're actually trying to get water to run off. So what we're doing with this is we're creating, this system is creating a area for water to hang out underneath from, especially on this yard, everything drains to the patio. So we have built-in drains underneath this patio, so that any water that gets into the base from the ground will then go out into a French drain that we added at the end of the project. Just like a normal paver patio, we're just going to spread the sand out. We're going to spread it out kind of evenly, and then we're going to start sweeping it in. One trick is to kind of go at an angular pattern. This helps with getting the sand down into the joint. This is a very small joint, and it's only 3/4 of an inch thick, so we want to make sure we get full depth on the joint. And the way we're going to do that is by running the roller compactor over it. So what we're doing with the rolling compactor, this is a great tool for slabs, porcelain, natural stone, to help consolidate that joint sand in the joints. So we want to make sure that we're at a low idle. So there's no reason to ramp this thing up and go full throttle. We're basically just trying to get the sand consolidated into the joint. So the vibration from the machine's engine at a low idle can accomplish this for us, and we'll show you here as we're doing this in this video. So once we've finished our first pass with the roller compactor, we're going to sweep in the sand. We're going to adjust any pavers that have moved, just like you would in a normal paver situation. We're going to add sand. We're going to sweep it in again, make sure it hits the top of the joint. And then we're going to do one more pass with the roller compactor just to make sure we've consolidated that sand completely. Once we've done our final compaction, or as I like to call consolidation of the polymeric sand, we're going to do our final sweep and clean the patio off completely, and this is where we'll start the wetting process. So typically when we wet in the sand of a paver patio, we're going to get out our garden hose, we're going to get a nozzle with a shower setting, and we're going to start spraying from the lowest point, taking all the steps the manufacturer recommends. But on this is a little trick that I learned from our Techniseal rep, which showed this in a demonstration that I did with him at a hands-on presentation. So instead of taking a garden hose, we're going to use a backpack sprayer. You can use any kind of pump sprayer if you want to use a 1 gallon or 2 gallon handheld sprayer. I find the backpack sprayer to be much more efficient. But the reason we're doing this is the tile does not absorb any of the water as we're spraying it, similar to the way a paver would. So the paver is going to suck in some of that water. It's going to run into the joint. It's going to dry quickly. And in this case, the porcelain will let the water sit on top of it and keep running it to the joints. So although it's difficult to overwater this particular sand, we don't want to be running water to the joints uncontrollably. So this gives a finer, more accurate watering, and allows you to kind of control how much water is going to the joint. So as we keep that in mind, you can see that we're just nicely, evenly spraying the water over the joints, and we're creating the same effect that we would with the garden hose, except we're getting a lot more accurate watering. Just like with a paver patio, this is a step you do not want to miss. You let that water soak into those joints, and then you want to get any excess water off of the patio and get it cleaned off. So we're going to use the leaf blower again for that. This little Stihl battery powered works great for doing these sand projects on pavers and porcelain. So we've really enjoyed having this smaller, a little bit less aggressive blower. So as you can see here from this close-up video clip, this is how it looked when everything was completed. And I'll throw up a few pictures here at the end to show the completed project, because we were very proud with the way this turned out. This is our first attempt at installing a porcelain patio. There's another section as you step down, you kind of see the step in the video where it goes to another section that we also did open graded base on. So very happy with this project. We have more coming up, and we'll keep showing you guys those and the progress we're making, and any things we're finding along the way that will help us be more efficient and also create a better outcome for our clients. So this particular client was very happy. This patio is operating beautifully, and they enjoy it. And I'm so glad that this worked out and we were able to provide such a great space for our client. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions. It's always great to hear from other contractors around the country. And if you're a homeowner, these are the kind of steps we go through when we're trying to create great spaces for you and your families. So hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day.